Have you ever wanted a car that have you ever wanted a car that doesn't require gas, but instead to recharge its battery, similar to a phone, or a car that has two motors just in case one breaks down? Then then the Tesla would be perfect for you. The the Tesla is an innovative electrical car that is set to take over the ordinary cars that we drive now. So today I'll describe to you how Tesla cars will revolutionize the way we drive. So if you guys love to take care of the environment, the Tesla Model S is an environmentally friendly, zero emissions electrical vehicle that won't pollute the air like gas powered cars. Now many of you drive cars, so this information can be useful to you just in case you plan on purchasing a Tesla in the future. So today I'll start off by explaining to you what a Tesla car is, how safe it is, and then the future of Tesla cars. So first I'll explain to you what a Tesla car is. According to Joe Trelongo from AutoTrader, the 2018 Tesla Model S is a fully electric luxury sedan that continues to captivate automotive and technology enthusiasts alike. There are many reasons for the Model S's success, including its thrilling performance, its amazing electric range, and its impressive technology, which is based around a huge central touchscreen. So that's the Tesla Model S right there. The central touchscreen controls all of the media, which includes the radio, Bluetooth connectivity, and the internet, as well as navigation, which automatically adjusts to current real-time traffic conditions. And it also has personalized drive settings and climate control. And you can also charge the Tesla overnight for 1 week worth of driving. And as well, you can recharge half the battery while you go get a cup of coffee or something to eat for 30 minutes at a supercharger station, with now over 12,000 locations located to charge. Now only Tesla has a technology that provides dual motors with independent traction to both the front and rear wheels, with for unparalleled control and in all kinds of weather conditions. One motor is created for power, and the other is created for range. And also, if one motor breaks down, the Tesla car will still run smoothly, will still run fine. So next, I'll explain to you how safe a Tesla car is. So according to Kirsten Korosek of TechCrunch, there's one area where the Tesla shines: crash safety tests conducted by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, and the Tesla S Model 3 is no exception. The Tesla Model 3 earned an all-around 5-star safety rating from the NHTSA, the highest possible issued by the agency. The tests include frontal side. The tests include frontal, side, and rollover crashes. The Model 3 got 5-star ratings in all of these tests, including subcategories such as side barrier and pole crashes. Now in this photo, we can see the NHTSA's frontal crash test. The car is hurled into a fixed barrier at 35 miles per hour, and it's simulating a head-on collision with another car. The test uses dummies representing an adult male sitting in the driver's seat, and one representing a small female adult riding in the shotgun. And both are evaluated for head, neck, and chest and femur. Both are evaluated for damages to the head, neck, and chest and femur. So now I move on to my last point, the future of Tesla cars. Claudia Assis from Market Watch states that Tesla said that we are now embarking on the delivery of Model 3 in international markets and are focusing on lowering manufacturing costs while continuing to increase its production rate. So the company plans on dropping down the price of Model 3 to an estimated $35,000, and it plans on increasing the production of Model 3 to 7,000 to a sustained rate of 7,000 vehicles a week by the end of 2019. So here's a picture of thousands of Teslas loading from San Francisco to Europe. The next vehicles that the Tesla company will introduce in the future are the Model Y, a semi-freight truck, and a pickup truck. So right here you can see here's a sketch of a concept of a Tesla pickup truck. So in conclusion, I've explained to you the functions of the Tesla car and the safety of it, and as well as the future plans of these cars. So I hope that you all got an idea. I hope that you all got an idea of what these cars are capable of, because of all the technological advancements that we have made throughout the years. Soon we will all be driving electrical Tesla cars.
All right, Lula, what did you think?
I thought the speech was overall really good and informative. Visual aids were mostly good. I think you did a good job of explaining them. You projected your voice really well. Your purpose statement was clear. I guess I would want to know a little bit more about the founder of Tesla and like who's creating these new products and why and where they come from. I think you did a really good explanation of the control panel and like the two engines, the dual motors, and just like what they're for, their purpose, and when one stops. I guess I want to know a little bit more about the charging of the Tesla. Like, yes, you can charge it halfway, but how long does that take, and how long does the battery last for? Like, how many miles can that go? Just like a little bit more information there. I thought the safety crash test slides that you showed were interesting and good. However, I'd want to know a little bit more about the result of what happens to the head, neck, femur, and chest of the male and the female, since you mentioned that they did tests on both. And I think that's really all I have.
Well, that's a pretty good list of things to have.
But overall, it was really good.
Yeah. Well, I think the rhetorical question at the beginning was a little kind of odd. It worked to get our attention. That was fine. And I think you introduced the subject in an interesting way. We've got the picture that you show us, and that's, you know, kind of a futuristic looking car, and the way in which it functions, you also introduced that early on. You're talking about how revolutionary the Tesla is, and there are a couple of things in what you've described that I think are pretty revolutionary. The two motors, I think, kind of fit that category. The interface inside on the dashboard, I think that's probably something that's important also. I agree with Lula. I think we could use a little bit more information about the charging thing, because for a lot of people, that'll be the reservation. If they were thinking about getting a car, they're going to go, well, can I plug it in with my extension cord at home, or do I have to have a special thing to be able to charge it at home? And I see these other things where you charge it someplace else. You mentioned there are 12,000 of them. I'm going, well, 12,000, that sounds like a lot until you realize, well, it looked like there were 12,000 of those Teslas lined up there next to the boat. How many places are there in the world where I might need to charge my car? You need to maybe give it a little bit more context. And that was another thing when Lulu was talking about maybe having some additional information. She talked about maybe the background of the company and that sort of thing. I don't think that would hurt. I think that would probably be good. But the things that I was interested in were the cars themselves. For instance, you mentioned this one particular model. Are there other models? You mentioned at the end some other models that would be coming. So why did they decide with this model to be the one that's the Focus that's talked about? You say it's kind of a luxury car, and $35,000 is a good price for a car. You know, I don't know that you think of that as a luxury car. You know, usually they're $70,000 or $80,000 for a luxury car. This sounds like it's a steal at $35,000. Can you get them at $35,000? How long do you have to wait to get one if you wanted one? You know, that kind of thing. I think there's other information here that, as a prospective buyer, for instance, I would want to know. I think you've got enough that you've intrigued people about the subject, but I'm not sure that you've given us enough to feel like, oh yeah, I should be walking over to my dealership right now and get on the list. Get me one of those, shiny green ones. That's the one I want. I like the fact that in the speech you do cite information pretty regularly, and you've got 2 or 3 extensive quotes. You've got one quote that defines what the Tesla is. You've got another quote about the safety issues that are going on. I like that. The description that you had of the dual motors I thought was pretty good. The visual that you have on that one is especially effective. Oh, I see how the dual motors work. You've got one for the rear drive and one for the front drive. That makes sense. And I could see how the car would continue to work without one or the other. So why do you need to have both? That I think could use a little bit more information on that. You do say something about how smooth the ride is and how much control it gives you, but I didn't really know how important that was. And if it could operate with just one, I'm going, well then why do they have both? I'm sure that there's more to it than just what you've talked about, and I could use a little bit more information on that. If I'm listening to the way you speak and the language that you use, you're okay, but the presentation is a little bit less fluid than you would want it to be. I'm not sure if that's practice. Some of it might be practice. Some of it might just be the way that you are talking about things. I think your transitions need to be a little bit smoother. There was one spot in particular that felt really mechanical. It was like, I think when you got to the safety issue, it was basically said, well, now let's talk about the safety issue, which was my third point that I was going to talk about. And I thought, I may have said, I don't know if I said it to this class, I've said it before, when people go through these processes, whenever you develop a skill, you go through different levels of ability. And it's like when you first, did we talk about the SMOG thing when you learn to drive? You guys ever know that acronym SMOG? That's one of those things I learned when you drive. Signal, mirror, over the shoulder, go and safe. So when you're changing lanes, you go through the SMOG little thing that you do. I mean, that's the way I learned it. So you signal, check your mirror, look over your shoulder, and go in safe. And when you're first doing it, it's mechanical in nature. You're going, okay, S-M-O-G, S-M-O-G. And you get used to doing that, and you have to learn to go through it. After you've done it a while, you don't even think about that. You do it automatically. It's one of those things that you do. You're kind of in that mode where I know what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm going through the motions, and I can kind of see you going through the motions. That's just, you're developing the skill. You are at the skillful level, but you haven't integrated it all yet. And that's just the next step that you need to do. And that's kind of what I saw about the presentation. Like, we aren't heavily emphasizing presentation right now, but that would be the one thing that I could point out and say, you're doing a good job, but I can tell that you're having to think about what you're doing the whole time instead of just doing it. And so that'll be something that comes with more experience. All right, thank you.